respect the integrity and judgment of our officials. Ladies and gentlemen, we expect you to do the same. Cheer positively for your team and acknowledge special plays for both sides. We welcome you to Rabobank Stadium as our guest.
The following program is made possible in part by the Nancy Eccles and Homer Hayward Family Foundation, the Digital Media Foundation, Yellow Brick Road, and the Arts Council for Monterey County. A big thank you from MCAETtv.
And we are live from Rabobank Stadium. It is Friday Night Lights with North Salinas and Carmel visiting from over on the other side of 68. My name is Bruce Deeney. I'm with Boz Johnson. We'll be calling the game for you tonight, and we're excited to be out here on a beautiful fall night with about a half a moon in Salinas at this amazing facility that when you look around, you see all the names of the people who have been so helpful in making this happening for the community. And it should be a great game tonight. Carmel undefeated. Baj?
Yeah, I think if you're Carmel, you're just looking for a little bit more of the same. And I think if you're North Salinas, you're looking to control the clock with the run game and see if you can keep it close.
Carmel definitely has a versatile attack. Kylie, their quarterback, has proved that he's got about 1,400 yards, I think, on the season, and he's got several different targets. He likes to spread the ball around, and they've got a great running back in the junior Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota is kind of the key to the offense for Carmel. Last week, he had 13 carries for 146 yards, 3 catches for 20 yards and a touchdown in a big win against Salinas. But when you take the whole season into effect, he's actually averaging 9 yards per carry. That's almost a first down every time he touches the ball. And he's got 10 TDs on the ground, 5 through the air. So, they're going to look to move him around a little bit, maybe put him as a receiver sometimes, motion him out of the backfield, and try to get him some touches. So it should be exciting.
We're going to take a pause for the playing of the national anthem tonight. And we are back. Friday Night Lights at Rabobank Stadium. We just saw the finish of a pretty good JV game. Carmel giving North Salinas a run for their money, coming up a little bit short. But exciting finish. They were inside the 10-yard line and looking to score in the last few seconds and came up a little bit short. But game tonight, I think it's going to be a little higher scoring than 14-20. I think we'll see the ball in the air, ball on the ground. North Salinas trying to find that solid player at that quarterback position. They've been last couple of games with Jake Sotelo out. They've been relying pretty heavily on Elijah Washington, the senior, who's also a gifted receiver and can play in the slot. He can basically play just about anywhere. But we're getting ready for the kickoff, Bosch.
Yeah, I think Elijah Washington is certainly that player to watch for on the North Salinas offense. And it looks like he might be the trigger man. He was taking all the reps at QB during warm-ups. And, they've got to get him involved in the QB run game. I think their whole design is to keep the ball out of the Carmel offense's hands. And a way to do that is for Elijah Washington, hand it off and keep it himself on the ground and chew up some clock.
So we've got, looks like Rashawn Ward back deep, and Dakota Morningweg back as well.
Yeah, Rashawn Ward, exciting player. He's a 100-meter track champion in CCS and a really electric player when he gets the ball in his hands. I think they're hoping to get him going tonight and get some touches in open space. Hopefully he can miss a tackle and create a big play for the Carmel offense.
So Brandon Guzman looking like he's ready to kick off this opening kickoff at just a little after 7:30 on Friday, October 19th. North Salinas in kind of a bunch set.
Yeah, potential onside kick
You'd
formation.
think. And we've got a little bit of a pooch, but it looks like Morningweg's got that ball, and he's taking up the left side. Dakota Morningweg cutting it upfield. He's got room to run. And it looks like he's being brought down there at the North Salinas 45. Nice run back for Dakota.
Yeah, he kind of snatched the ball away from Rashawn Ward there, I think, but, he got some great yards. Make a couple defenders miss and give Carmel some good field position here.
Yeah, I think he knows that his grandmother Darla is watching from up in the Bay Area. We wish her well.
Hey, you got to have the family watching on MCAETtv. I mean, it's not just for the local people. It's for all the people that are affiliated with these schools that don't live here anymore and want to watch the games.
So we got Kylie at quarterback for Carmel. And that's a give to Morningweg straight up the middle, and he's got room. He's up to a little over about a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, and I think he's upped his average there. I mean, he's averaging 9 yards a carry. I think he got about 12 there, but Carmel's run game's been very strong this year, and he's been right in the middle of it.
So that's first down, 1st and 10 on about the 33-yard line. And it's another give to Morningweg. He's got plenty of room up the middle. Still carrying about 3 North Salinas defenders and brought down by about the 22-yard line there.
Yeah, and good job by the O-line up front. They're really pushing the D-line of North Salinas back, giving Morningweg some room to run. He kind of slithered through some tackles there. And for not a huge guy, he's hard to take down.
Sure. Last couple of plays, we've seen Nico Stali in motion. First and 10, Kylie trying to get some running room. Has got a receiver in the corner. That's going to be picked off by number 3, North Salinas. That is Manuel Camberos. So a little fighting for the ball down there, but
yeah, it looked like Kylie was looking for something in the quick game, and it didn't materialize. And then he was kind of scrambling around looking to make something happen, and the throw was just a little bit underthrown. And North Salinas takes advantage of an early miscue.
So North Salinas will take over the ball on their, looks like about their 9-yard line, 10:58 in the first quarter. A little bit of a surprise, an uncharacteristic pick from Carmel quarterback Kylie. That's a give to Morales. Morales going to fight for not much. Looks like he basically got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you got a lot of defenders there. Young Jae Chi, inside linebacker for the Carmel Padres in on the tackle, but a whole host of other players. That's how Carmel likes to play defense. You know, the first guy gets there, and then everybody else comes in and cleans them up.
A lot of hats on the ball. Second and that 10. Quick pass over the middle, brought down by.
Washington's pass is complete to number 27.
Looks like he's.
Angel Sandoval.
Is that Morneweg on that tackle? No, number. Looked like number 2.
Tristan McAllister.
Tristan McAllister.
Yeah, another strong player for the Padres. And you have number 27, Angel Sandoval, on the reception with just a little quick game throw to set North Salinas up for, third and manageable.
So we've got Elijah Washington at quarterback for North Salinas. Got Matt Morales in the backfield. And that might just be a little encroachment on Carmel's part.
Yeah, and you've got number 11, Joe Zazueta, behind Elijah Washington, and, he'll be looking to make some plays on the ground.
So the ball will be marched back a little bit. It'll be enough for a first down, it looks like. Looks like they're going to move the chains on that.
Yeah, a fortuitous turn of events for North Salinas. They had the interception and now a penalty, so both teams still settling in here.
9:37 in the first quarter. That's a keep by Washington, and it looks like he carved out about 3.5 yards on that.
Yeah, and that's what North Salinas is trying to do, is use up some of that clock, keep the ball out of the Carmel offense's hands, and they're going to have to use Elijah Washington in the QB run game just like they did there to keep Carmel defense honest, so they can't just key in on number 11, Joe Zazueta.
So it looks like we've got Joe Zazueta in the backfield, and this is going to be a run by Washington. He's stopped cold there by number 24,
Zach Dizzy.
Zach Dizzy. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's a great player for the Padres. He's having an incredible season. He's got 35 tackles and really controlling the middle of the field for the Padres.
All-leaguer from last year.
Oh, yeah.
Dizzy was.
Yeah, you got to love the returning all-leaguers. Probably plays a huge leadership role as well.
So we've got Elijah Washington at quarterback and Joe Zazueta in the backfield. Looks like Washington's looking to throw. Caught there by Brandon Guzman.
Yeah, North Salinas really doing a nice job of spreading the ball around, couple runs, but their pass game is more ball control pass. Just move the chains along and set themselves up for some manageable down and distances.
So we've got another first down for North Salinas, moving the chains and carving out some time on the clock. 8:05 in the first quarter, playing the ball possession game, first and 10. And Carmel looks like they're bringing the house, and that gives to Zazueta, and he gets about maybe a yard.
Yeah, and Tristan McAllister fills the hole there, takes down the ball carrier for minimal gain. They're going to need more of that.
So facing second and about 8 yards, Elijah Washington bringing the play in. Looks like he's going over to Coach Ben Seralde after every play to get the call. So going with Elijah Washington and Joe Zazueta in the backfield, using Matt Morales as more of a wideout tonight. Gives this to Zazueta, and he's got some room, and brought down there by J.T. Byrne.
Yeah, J.T. Byrne, a really explosive athlete. I know he plays basketball and baseball, I believe, but he's great in space. He's got the athleticism to run down the ball carrier.
And we may see him a little bit at quarterback.
Yeah, he is the backup, and, if need be, he can certainly step in there and sling it around.
Elijah Washington in the shotgun, third and about 2 here. And that's a keeper, so he's trying to get outside, and it didn't look like he got much, Bosch.
No, I think number 34, Young Jae Chi, diagnosed that power tray extremely quickly. He saw the guard and the tackle pull. He followed them right down the line and made a really great tackle on Elijah Washington, who hasn't had much room in the run game, even though they're trying to feature him.
Pretty strong fundamental football. Just, follow the lineman, they'll take it to the play, right?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, everybody likes to get cute, but it all comes down to blocking and tackling. And, it seems like Carmel's pretty strong up front, but North Salinas has some big guys too. So it's been about what we expected, and I think it's gone about as well as it could have for North Salinas so far. I mean, we're already halfway through the first quarter and, all tied up at 0.
Carmel's run off about the first 3 plays that had that interception down right about the goal line, and North Salinas being able to put together, with the help of one offsides or encroachment call, put together a nice little drive and a great possession, keeping the ball on the ground mostly.
Absolutely, and it looks like this is going to be a little bit short, about 6 inches, so North Salinas has a big decision to make here. Do they punt the ball, play some field position, or they decide to roll the dice here on 6 inches and see if they can get a first down and keep this drive alive?
Well, it looks like they might be trying to go for it, which could be setting a tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, well, in a situation like this, sometimes you want to be aggressive, and if coach has a good play call here, this could get exciting.
I see Robert Brown up there on the defensive line of scrimmage licking his chops for Carmel. Maybe just a hard count here. So North Salinas going with a hard count, trying to draw Carmel offsides, and then Coach Seralde signaling in the play. And now we've got a timeout, Carmel.
Interesting. Yeah, they went with a quads formation, North Salinas did, where they have 4 receivers on the wide side of the field. And I think Coach Anderson for the Padres is just looking to make sure they're adjusted and aware of what's going on and have the proper alignment. So
we got a little time here for the timeout. So explain to our viewers a little bit about what happens when a coach comes up the line of scrimmage and they're just do they have a play called, or are they just trying to draw the other team off?
Well, I mean, a lot of times, on 4th and short, you're looking for the team to make a mistake. So you say, hey, let's go out there. We're going to do a hard count. If they go off sides, we'll take that first down. But if they don't, we'll just call a timeout and we'll figure out what we want to do. Or you can say, hey, we're going to go with the hard count, see if they go off sides. If they don't, we'll have a play call that we want to get to. Maybe it's an inside zone run. Maybe it's a quick throw out to one of the 4 receivers out wide. Something a little bit more unexpected.
So both Coach Ben Seralde for North Salinas and Golden Anderson have a chance to talk to their team. And that's a straight give to the running back, Zazuda, but it doesn't look like he's going to get anything there.
Well, it's all about the forward progress, because he did, get maybe a yard, but then the Carmel defense came up real hard and pushed him back. So it's all about the spot here.
So we may just get the spot here, and they're going to call for the chains, I think, again. Yeah, the chains are going to come out.
Yeah, this one's close, absolutely, because he was right there, but he did get pushed back by the Carmel D. So it's all about the referee's spot in this situation.
So again, coach is going to have a chance to talk to their players as the officials measure this one officially. But from this angle, looks like they may have that just by about an inch or 2.
Yeah, and this is really a big play in the game, a huge momentum swing for both teams. If Carmel can get the ball back, they're in business. And if North Salinas can get the first down here, then they're going to keep a drive alive and keep the ball out of Carmel's hands.
So it looks like that's about as close as possible. That's going to be a first down for North Salinas. So North Salinas is going to have a 1st and 10 with 6:05 in the first quarter, and they've controlled the possession so far.
Yeah, I think it's gone exactly according to plan for North Salinas. They've wanted to keep the ball control alive, and they've really put a nice drive together coming out from deep in their own territory.
So Zazuda in the backfield with Elijah Washington in the shotgun. And Washington's just going to take this, see if he can get a back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Tristan McAllister there with the stop for Carmel. Seems like they're starting to tighten up the screws here a little bit.
No gain on the play.
And notice that Robert Brown, we'll be calling his name, number 33 on that Carmel defense. Terrific defensive lineman, just pinched in a little bit there and helped with that stop. So 2nd and 10, 5:34 in the first quarter. Washington looking for something and just met by a host of Padres, among them Robert Brown.
Yeah, JT Byrne is in the middle of the action. You know, almost a team sack there. I think everybody wanted a piece of that.
I think Brown is leading the county right now with about 10 sacks, 9.5, 10 sacks.
Yeah, he's got 9.5 sacks for the season. He might have got a half sack there, but he's definitely leading all 4 divisions locally in the sack category.
And I like how Tristan McAllister came up from that middle linebacker spot, helped make that stop. Washington looking to throw, has some room to run, and launches one, but that's just over everybody's head.
Yeah, and really a tough situation for North Salinas. They're in 3rd and long, and that's when those pass rushers for Carmel can really pin their ears back and get a move going and create some pressure. And there they flushed him out of the pocket, and a throw just a little bit high and a little off target. So, you know, now the punt team will come out.
So not taking any chances here, just punting it and see if they can get a little field position. We've got Brandon Guzman in to punt for North Salinas. Rashawn Washington and Dakota Morningweg back there deep. Or it looks like, excuse me, that's Luke Melcher back.
Yeah, and Rashawn Ward.
Yeah. Melcher's going to let that ball just go out of bounds there.
And a great kick, you know, pin them inside the 20-yard line. Great directional capabilities there, where you're not going to kick it to one of the returners who can be a little bit dangerous with the ball in their hands, give them no opportunities to flip some field position.
It's sort of a flip of the coin. Luke Melcher doing a great job for the Padres running the ball, very powerful running. So it's maybe the lesser of two evils, but
yeah,
both those players could very strong returners.
Absolutely. And you want to keep the ball out of Rashawn Ward's hands. He's kind of electric when he has the ball.
So Kai Lee and his Padres taking over at the Carmel or their North Salinas 15-yard line, looking to get something going. He's got Dakota Morningweg up the middle for about 4 yards.
Yeah, a good drive starter. You know, leave yourself second and manageable. You know, keep the whole playbook open. And Dakota actually had a great, you know, first couple carries of the game. So let's continue with that theme.
Kylie sends Luke Melcher in motion, and that's going to look like a timeout by Carmel. So with 4:10 to go in the first quarter, we're going to take a short break and be right back.
Hi, this is Greg Papa for Next Level Sports, the safe way to teach kids the game of football, open to boys and girls, grades K through 8.
There's nothing better than creating memories through football with your friends.
Next Level provides positive coaches, equal playing time, and a safe and effective football experience for your athlete. With convenient scheduling and a community-driven league, it's a touchdown for the whole family. Next Level Flag Football, the fastest-growing youth sports organization on the West Coast. Sign up today at nextlevelflag.com.
Bruce Deeney with Boz Johnson. We've got Carmel with Kai Lee in shotgun. Got Dakota Morningweg in the backfield. So on second down, that's a little sweep with Morningweg. He's fighting for, it looks like he's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards on that, and we're going to have third and about 3, Coach.
Yeah, well, I think at this point in the game, Coach Anderson's trying to figure out, hey, what kind of look am I getting defensively? Is it man zone? Looks like a too high look, but you can see the defender went across with Melcher on the motion. So just kind of feeling each other out. Again, like a championship boxing fight, we're getting some jabs where everybody's figuring themselves out at the beginning of the game here.
They got a little press coverage on Ward over there on the side, and that's a give to on that look like a little sweep play to
yeah, a little sweep play, jet sweep action, but a handoff to Melcher.
Okay.
And it looks like we're in a situation where it's kind of close, and they are going to move the chains here, it looks like. So a nice little first down.
So first down for Carmel, moving the ball. Melcher gets a touch there.
Yeah, well, Carmel has so many dynamic weapons. It's all about the touches. How do you distribute them? You know, are they handoffs? Are they catches? You know, how does the offense operate?
And I guess at the beginning of game 2, trying to find the right matchups. So Kylie empty, looking to throw the ball. He's got basically, complete to Rashawn Ward down on the North Salinas 35.
Yeah, what a great throw by Kylie. He really put a lot of touch on it just to get it over the top of the defender's head. And Rashawn Ward, what an athletic catch.
Yeah, he went up and caught that ball. So Carmel looking to get this play off fast, take advantage of North Salinas on their heels a little bit. Kylie in the shotgun, and that gives us to Morningweg, who's following his guard right up the middle, and he's got room, takes it up to about the 16, 17-yard line.
Yeah, you know, Carmel, after the big pass play to Ward, they're coming up quick, looking to go tempo, and they run a nice little power tray to Morningweg there where the tackle or the guard kicks out and he follows the tackle right up the hole for a huge gain.
So, and we've got, looks like we've got Kylie looking to swing this ball out to his left side and tries to get back to the line of scrimmage and doesn't see much. Good coverage by North Salinas.
Yeah, you had number 3, Manuel Camberos, has the tough job of covering Ward, and they tried to get a little quick rollout to the short side on over there, and too tight with the coverage. Kylie just decides to take it down and get what he can.
So Morningweg back in the backfield. Kylie second and about 11. Little screen pass to Luke Melcher, who's hit hard there. And we may have a little head-to-head contact. That was a hard hit.
Well, the beanbag comes out from the ref, and it's all a matter of if he actually caught the ball and made a football move, and it's a fumble, or if he never really had possession and it's an incomplete pass. And it did look like the ref signaled incomplete pass, so now it's 3rd and long for Carmel.
But that Jimmy Manzo came up and made a hit on Melcher.
Oh, yeah, that play was diagnosed from the beginning. The screen play was
pulling Rashawn Ward and Dakota Morningweg over here on the near side, and that's where Kylie is looking. Can't find a receiver, and got some running room, is taking it up himself and gets it up to about the 10-yard line. Not enough for a first down, but it's going to be 4th and about 4 with about 1:20 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and this will be an interesting decision here. Do you take the 3 points because you're in relatively good field goal position, or do you say, hey, let's be aggressive, we can get 4 yards on 4th down and try to put 6 on the board?
And it looks like they're going for it, at least now. So Coach Anderson's got a 4-yard, 5-yard play in his playbook, I'm sure. Got Melcher in motion, and that gives to Morningweg, who's got 5 yards and more, and he's into the end zone, blasting through that defensive secondary, and he just powers it in. Powerful running by Dakota Morningweg.
Oh, yeah, what a great play design. Again, they had success with that same exact play earlier, the power tray. The guard comes around, kicks out, and the tackle leads up through the hole, and Dakota just gets right back behind him and follows him into the end zone. But great legs at the end of the play. He really had to muscle it to get that extra yard for the touchdown.
Powerfully got into the end zone there. And Carmel in their traditional swinging gate set, seeing if they had some numbers to work with. And looks like they will be going for the 1 point here. Kylie holds for Nico Stali, and that is good. So with 43 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Carmel up 7-0. And we will take a short break and be right back. So we are back on the heels of a beautiful pass play between Kylie and Rashawn Ward, and a little bit of running by Dakota Morningweg. Carmel takes the lead 7-0 with a kickoff, and that's just going to, looks like it's going to go out of bounds on about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Carmel looking for a little high pooch punt, maybe give themselves a chance to run underneath it and have a lot of defenders there to make a tackle on the ball carrier if he did catch it.
So North Salinas takes over at their, looks like that's going to be at their 35-yard line. And so not quite so backed up. Ball goes out of bounds. They start at the 35, and pretty good field position for North Salinas, and they're going to see if they can move the ball here. 1st and 10, about 43 seconds. That gives to Zazuda, who's met by a host of Padres there and just brought down.
Yeah, you can see the Carmel D has really knocked off the cobwebs. I think, sometimes in a game it takes a little time to find your footing, but it seems like they've got a read on what they want to do and what North Salinas is trying to do, and, they've got a lot of ball defenders on the ball carrier.
So with about 14 seconds, time is ticking down, and North Salinas looks like they may be able to get a playoff if they get it off quickly. So looking to throw the ball, nothing there.
Yeah, a little laundry on the field. We have our first flag of the game. Looks like it might be a holding call by North Salinas when those fierce pass rushers for Carmel really get going. Sometimes you don't have any choice. It's, do I hold this guy or give up a sack?
So nothing for Washington. And that will bring up holding on the Vikings. So as they switch ends for the quarter, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to be right back. As we leave you, it's Carmel 7-0 at the end of the first quarter.
This program on MCAETtv is brought to you in part by the good folks from Technology and Operations at the Monterey County Office of Education, with leadership, support, and service to prepare all students for success.
And we are back. Start of the second quarter. Carmel up 7-0. North Salinas with the ball on their own 21-yard line, and that's a pass out to Angel Sandoval.
Yeah, a quick little bubble screen there.
Excuse me, for those of you that are seeing that, there was no time on the clock, but they ran off another play just at the end. So now we're switching sides, and we'll take a little break and be right back. My apologies. And we are back at the start again of the second quarter. My apologies, but North Salinas with the ball there on about their own 24-yard line, and moving the ball mostly on the ground is Elijah Washington, and that's a run for Washington. He breaks through the line of scrimmage, is up to about the 40-yard line. So nice little, about a 12, 13-yard run by Elijah Washington.
Yeah, they had quads to the wide side of the field, and they must have liked something to the short side. They kept it over there, and Elijah Washington was able to break a couple tackles and get a big gain for North Salinas.
So North Salinas executing a strategy, basically Coach Seralde wanting to keep the ball on the ground and win that possession game, keep Carmel's powerful offense off the field. It's working so far.
Yeah, but even after that big gain, because of the holding penalty, they're in fourth down, and they've got to punt.
So Guzman with a pretty good punt, nice hang time. And that is going to just bounce right in front of Melcher, and he's letting that ball go. So it looks like Carmel will take over on their own 16-yard line.
Yeah, great special teams play by North Salinas. Good placement with the kick. Anytime you can, pin the other team inside the 20, it's a win for your squad.
Brendan Guzman so far with a couple of great punts. So Carmel with plenty of time, up 7-0. 10:59 in the second quarter.
And it seems like they're getting a little extra direction from Coach Anderson on the sideline. Big possession for the Padres, looking to put more points up on the board.
Carmel with a traditionally high-power offense, averaging 45 points a game so far this season. So Kylie with the gift to Morningweg up the middle. And looks like he might get about 6 or 7 yards on that.
Yeah, Carmel's been very strong on the ground all season, and then they can set themselves up for good down and distances where they can pick up some big chunk plays in the pass game. So right now they're just staying on schedule.
And that's a keep by Kylie on second and about 6. He's got the first down a little bit more. And so that looks like a pickup of about 12 yards. First down for Carmel.
Yeah, and it seems like North Salinas' strategy is they're almost more concerned about the passing game for Carmel than they are about the run game. They're leaving the box a little bit light, maybe with only 5 defenders or so in the box. And anytime you can have those numbers, you got to run it.
And that big athletic front line of Carmel moving North Salinas around. That gives to Morningweg. And he's trying to get outside. And met by Matt Morales up there and brought down. So he's got, we've got about a 3rd and about 2 right now.
8-yard gain on the play.
And Carmel looks like they're finding a little rhythm here.
Yeah, it seemed like they were a little slow off the bus, just kind of figuring things out offensively and defensively, and sometimes it just takes a little time to find your rhythm. But they like to play fast. Anytime they can create some tempo with some big plays, they find their rhythm.
And this team looks like they're in great shape. Kylie with the gift to Morningweg. Again, up the middle. He's met there by Morales.
Morningweg for 7 yards. Brought down by Morales.
Yeah, you can really see Morningweg is the focus of the offense for Carmel, and he's certainly getting his touches. But it's all a matter of time before they can get Luke Melcher involved and Rashawn Ward, kind of spread the ball around a little bit.
And going a little heavy here. So that give is to Melcher right up the middle. He's got room, and he's taking off. And, wow, he's got some speed, and it looks like they're just not going to catch him. And Melcher takes it all the way in, so that's another Carmel scorer.
Wow, what a big run. Exciting.
Wow, showing some speed on that.
I didn't think he had the wheels to get there, Coach. But
he outran everyone.
He did. They're going to be recruiting him for the track team, I think, at this point.
Well, I think they're going to have a tough time pulling that All-American lacrosse player away from the lacrosse team this spring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Showing some athleticism there.
And I think all these Carmel kids are two-sport athletes, whether it's lacrosse, basketball, baseball. It seems like the athletic program at Carmel is really on the come-up.
So we've got the swinging gate. Kylie doesn't like what he sees, and so they're going to come and kick that again. Nico Staley to kick. And that is good. Through the uprights, not by much, but it made it through. So Carmel taking the lead 14-0 with 9:08 to play in the first half. So we're in the second quarter. Carmel, a beautiful run by Luke Melcher, and they're going to kick off and pin North Salinas back a little bit here. One of the things I did want to mention as we're taking a little bit of a break, the growth of flag football in the area, and how more and more kids are starting to play flag football. We're going to have a little announcement later on in the game about a new league starting up over in Carmel at Carmel High School, but it'll be available to all the players, youth players, through 8th grade on the Monterey Peninsula, and flag football is a rapidly growing sport. So Carmel to kick off, and that is a little pooch to about the 30-yard line, and North Salinas, rightly so, is just going to take that ball down, and that looks like Jake. No, that was Isaiah Guzman. Isaiah, good job fielding that ball, and wisely just goes down.
Yeah, when a kick is that short, you don't have any blockers in front of you, so when after you catch the ball, you look up, you're going to have a whole bunch of tacklers in your face, and I think he just did the smart thing and just took the field position and go down.
So Elijah Washington is North Salinas Vikings looking to move the ball here. It's 9:05 in the second quarter, and that's a give to Zazueta, and no running room there, met by that Carmel defensive line.
It seemed like number 22, Robert Mowry, on the tackle.
Coming up from that linebacker position, athletic guy.
A senior making his impact on the game here tonight.
So second and about 12 for North Salinas. And Washington looking downfield, and that ball's up in the air pretty high, and it's caught there by Angel Sandoval. And so nice reception. So nice gain for North Salinas.
Yeah, number 24, Zach Dizzy, there on the coverage, and he was really looking to strip it out at the end of that play, and you can tell that's the focus of the Carmel defense. Once they make the tackle, they're looking to get the ball out, create some turnovers.
Well, and that ball was up for grabs. Sandoval made a great catch there, going up and taking that ball. So low snap, Washington trying to field it, but he just goes down on that ball.
Elijah Washington falls on the loose ball.
So this is going to bring up second and long, second and about 14, 15 yards.
Yeah, not a way you want to start the drive, kind of put yourself in a tough position in second and long, but Elijah Washington has had a little more success throwing the ball than I thought he would, so I think they're probably going to let him air it out a little bit here.
Well, certainly with a second and long, they may be in a position where they have to, so Carmel looking like they're going to bring the house. Washington takes it himself, and he's got running room up the sideline. Elijah Washington at the 20, at the 10, and he's taken in the end zone. Beautiful run by Elijah Washington, making the score. Carmel Padres 14 and North Salinas Vikings 6. Beautiful run by Elijah Washington.
Hey, when they think pass, run it. When they think run, pass it. So it seems like the North Salinas coaching staff has Carmel a little bit on their heels, and they had some success with that run to the short side of the quads earlier in the game, and they went back to it again, and Elijah Washington really has got the speed to take it to the house.
So North Salinas with the extra point, and that is Brandon Guzman. So that balls flew wide to the right, and the score at the end of 7:23 in the second quarter is the Carmel Padres 14 and North Salinas Vikings 6. We will be back after this announcement. And we are back. My name is Bruce Deeney. I'm with Boz Johnson. We're at Rabobank Stadium on a beautiful Friday night with the Padres of Carmel up 14-6 over the Vikings of North Salinas. We just saw a beautiful run by Elijah Washington. I'm not sure if we have that on replay. If we have, I'd love to take another look at that. But Elijah Washington, great play call by Coach Ben Seralde. Right, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got the quads and all the attention to the four receivers wide, and then you run it short side, and that's the whole thing is you got to create some opportunities for Elijah Washington, who's your most explosive player, and that's going to be in the run game, and certainly it panned out there.
So we've got Rashawn Ward and Dakota Morningweg back deep for Carmel. don't think the ball's going to get there. This is going to be a short pooch, fielded there by Adam Romali, and Romali just goes down right there, and Carmel will get some pretty good field position on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, great catch by Romali. Just get what you can out of it right there. Don't put the ball on the ground, and set yourself up for some good field position for your offense coming on the field.
So North Salinas with a great play call, and Elijah Washington on a beautiful run. Carmel taking over. Coach Anderson taking a little extra time with his Padres at this point, but a pretty good field position to start with 7:18 in the second quarter. Kylie in the shotgun with Dakota Morneweg behind, and that gives to Morneweg, who's looking for some running room and gets about 3 or 4 yards. And Morneweg looks like he's just finding a little bit of running room. Whatever's there, he's just taking.
Yeah, he's a slippery runner. He kind of slithers through the hole. He's hard to take down. He always makes the first guy miss, and he's going to get what he can once the contact happens.
So second and about 6 yards. Melcher in motion. Looks like Kylie maybe changing the call a little bit, and that gives us to Morneweg, who's got an edge and fighting for that first down, and it looks like he may have gotten that.
Yeah, both teams here liking the power tray, pulling the guard and the tackle at the same time, creating some number advantages on the front side of the play, and then letting the running back find the crease, find the hole afterwards.
So Carmel moving the sticks. That'll be a first down. So Carmel moving the ball. This is the same set we saw with that give to Melcher on the touchdown. So Melcher in the backfield. And that give is to Melcher. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and a little bit more.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as much running room as there was the first time, but he can always make a guy miss and take it to the house. So you got to pound the rock a little bit here if you're Carmel.
Sure, and he's got Chi and it looked like Tristan McAllister in there blocking for him. So back to Morneweg in the backfield. And Lee looking to throw the ball. And he's got and that ball is picked. That is a pick by Camberos again. And he is bringing that ball back to about the 36-yard line. And that's a second pick for Camberos.
Yeah, what a great game he's having. The defense for North Salinas has really been challenged all week. They knew it was a high-scoring offense coming into town, and they're going to defend their home turf, and they've really made some great plays here to keep the game close early.
So Camberos really jumping that route and getting in front of the receiver and coming up big for North Salinas, who will take over at their own 36-yard line. The official is inspecting the ball, and I don't think he likes this one. I think he wants another one.
Well, everybody likes their own ball.
Yeah. So what we're seeing now is the exchange of balls, and each team uses their own football. So you'll see that being transferred in from time to time.
But not a lot of flags this game from the officials.
No.
I think we're used to seeing the past 2 weeks. We've seen a ton of flags. The officials have really been a part of the action. But tonight they've really seemed to let the kids play.
So, yeah, the officials North Salinas looking for their ball. They don't want to use that Carmel ball, so they found their own ball. The ball boy, very important job. And for all the years we coached, we had a great one. We had little Theodore Meredith was a great ball boy for us all those years.
Hey, we had the right ball all the time.
So Washington looking over the middle, and he finds Angel Sandoval.
Yeah, but Sandoval couldn't hang on to the ball there, so North Salinas again in second and long. But you can tell their philosophy here tonight is they're looking for big chunk plays from Washington, and keep Carmel honest with the run game and try to hit some possession passes with some hitches and slants.
But keeping the ball between the sidelines, North Salinas, and trying to use as much of that clock as they possibly can. So Washington looking to throw here, and goes up top, and that ball is picked off by Zach Deasy. Deasy coming up big, going up high for that pick, and showing why he's the all-league player that he is.
Yeah, what a great play by Deasy. He's really showed up big at the right time, and he's just ready to make an impact on the game here tonight. And his team needed it after throwing the pick, so he gives the ball right back to his offense. But what an athletic play. He really had to turn his body around and come back and really get some good extension out there to come down with that ball. They might think about turning him into a receiver at some point.
Boy, he sure showed that he's got some great hands there. And in the backfield for Carmel right now, we've got looks like
you got J.T. Byrne at quarterback.
J.T. Byrne at quarterback, and that was
and
like
maybe
young J. Chi in the backfield.
Young J. Chi, kind of a spread power set. A little change-up package for J.T. Byrne.
So J.T. Byrne, the sophomore he's been playing linebacker, and he's just going to run the ball. He's got room. He takes it up. He's got a first down, and so he picks up about 7-8 yards, and it'll be a Carmel first down.
Yeah, and they're really looking to get the ball in JT's hands. He's obviously an explosive athlete, as we know from the basketball court, but they're putting Jae Young Chi in there almost as a fullback to block for him.
And Morningweg back in. So that give is to Morningweg, who is met at the line of scrimmage, but powers his way up for about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, well, Carmel's offense, they want to stay ahead of the chains. They want to stay on schedule. They want second and manageable, third and short, and string this drive together, maybe use a little clock of their own, and come away with some points.
So J.T. Byrne still in at quarterback. Low snap, and he takes it himself and fights his way back to the line of scrimmage. He actually picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, it looks like Carmel's looking to mix it up here a little bit with a quarterback change, and it seems like J.T. Byrne's strength is running the ball at this moment, and they're going to let him do just that.
So we've got third and about 2 here with 4 minutes. He takes the ball. He's got that first down, and then some. Picks up about 6-7 yards. So J.T. Byrne moving the Carmel offense now, Coach.
Well, again, it seems like North Salinas' the box is a little bit light. Not too many defenders there. And when the quarterback is really a threat to run, you create some extra numbers, and they're just moving the ball down the field. But it looks like Kylie's back in.
Kylie and Morningweg in the backfield. As we were walking into the stadium, walked by Byrne. He's a big boy. So Morningweg on the carry. He's got room, and he's up to about the 20-yard line. Not a first down, but it'll be.
No. Well, he averages 9 yards a carry.
It is. That's another first down.
He got his average and a little more right there.
So first and 10 on the North Salinas 20 for Carmel. And a little inside pitch to Melcher. Doesn't really fool the North Salinas line, but fights his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they were trying to create some action to the wide side of the field with the jet motion, and then try to little shovel pass underneath. But you're exactly right. North Salinas was not fooled. They were keying in on Melcher, who is a big part of the Carmel offense, so they weren't going to fall asleep there.
And Steve Matheson, that big interior lineman for North Salinas, making a stop.
And young Jay Chi in the backfield.
So powerful runner in Chi. Kylie in shotgun, and he's going to take this himself. That's a designed run play. He's just powering through, keep his feet moving really well. And so on, we're going to have about a third and maybe about 4 here for Carmel.
Yeah, well, at this point, I think Carmel, they're having so much success on the ground. Why put it in the air? Don't take any chances. Play it tight to the vest. grind out the yards on the ground, and they're in the red zone.
So Dakota Morningweg, obviously from a football family. He's got a great pedigree. His father was one of the top players in the state from Oak Grove, and his brother. And with an uncle as a coordinator in the NFL, they talked football at home every night. And we had the pleasure of coaching when we were at Stevenson, Coach Johnson and I, with coaching Dakota's two older brothers, Brennan and Casey.
Yeah, they are the true definition of a football family.
Great kids.
But he's not the only one with NFL ties on the Carmel squad. Rashawn Ward has a cousin who is in the NFL, Kazim Osgood.
North Salinas graduate and Salinas Valley Hall of Fame. Right?
Yeah, well, he had a nice 10-year career or so in the NFL, and really put North Salinas on the map, and a lot of North Salinas ties for this Carmel team.
North Salinas with a proud football tradition. Carmel moving the ball, and we've got looks like we've got JT Byrne back in at quarterback in that heavy set, and he's going to take the ball himself and gets about a couple of yards. He's going to be close to the first down, and close enough. Carmel's lined up, wants to get a playoff on fourth down, but the officials may want to measure this.
No, I think they're just going to move the chains here.
Oh, that'll be first and goal. So first and goal with JT Byrne getting that important first down. First and goal for Carmel with a little over 2 minutes left. And that's a give to Morningweg, who carves out about 4 yards.
Yeah, he seems to be getting more carries than usual tonight, and really pushing the piles, taking a host of defenders with him.
And that's Morningweg again, met there at the line of scrimmage, didn't fool anyone, so it's going to be third and about, third and goal, but they're going to be on about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, and about a minute 25 with the clock ticking down here in the second quarter. It will be interesting to see what happens, what kind of play call we're going to get from Carmel's offense. But it seems like North Salinas' defense has made some adjustments, and they're coming up and stuffing the run a little bit better than they had been earlier this drive.
And I got to think that Coach Anderson is thinking this is 4-down territory. But that gives to Morningweg. He's up the middle, and looks like he bangs his way up to about the 2-yard line, maybe the 1.5, 2-yard line.
Yeah, you're fourth and short, on the goal line, clock ticking down at the end of the half. This is where games are won and lost.
So Carmel taking a timeout with 53 seconds left to go in the first half. And with the score 14-6, I'm Bruce Deeney. This is with Boz Johnson, and we are going to take a short break, and we will be right back. And we are back at Rabobank Stadium with Carmel up 14-6. The visiting Padres over the North Salinas Vikings. Carmel really has North Salinas on their heels. Fourth and goal here, Coach.
Yeah, this is where you got to punch it in, and it looks like the offense is coming out on the field here. So they've had a lot of success on the ground so far. This drive, I'd be surprised if they don't stay consistent with that.
Rashawn Ward in motion. That ball's fumbled, so Kylie picks it up, and it looks like he's just going to be brought down by Christian Antonio.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. You got the right play design, you got everybody right where you want them, and then the snap is a little bit low, and you've just got to take your medicine and move on. But quite a fortuitous turn of events for North Salinas to keep the points off the board.
Well, it looks like they've gotten a few breaks here in this game, at least in the first half so far. A couple of picks.
Yeah,
and
big fourth down stop right there.
And chewed a lot of time on the clock. So it's a credit to Carmel offense, too, that they've been able to I think they've scored on two of their three possessions so far in that.
Yeah, well, you got to limit the turnovers, obviously, and they've found a lot of success in the run game. So I think for the second half, that'll continue.
So Washington with the take there is not going to get much with and the clock is running with about 35 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, and if you're North Salinas, I think you've got to be feeling good right now. You're only down 8 points in a game against the high-powered offense. I think you've done everything you wanted to do: create turnovers, fourth down stops, and keep this game close.
And Carmel, other than the turnovers, looks like they're playing pretty well. But 2 turnovers and a bad snap could be the difference in a game like this.
Yeah, it's all about the details, and it all starts with the right ball.
So that's going to be a give to Matt Morales. So, and we haven't seen much Matt Morales carrying the ball, and he's a strong runner for North Salinas. So, with the score 14-6, Carmel 14, North Salinas 6 at the end of the first half. The teams are going to take it in the locker room, and we will be back after this halftime show.
This is my 18th year teaching, but only my 3rd year at North Salinas High School. The program's been growing in the last 2 years, and we ran into a problem of not having enough uniforms for the kids, so we were trying to figure out different ways of doing it. And fortunately, my wife found something on Facebook of a school back in Chicago that was giving away their 200 uniforms to literally just to pick them up. And so I was the second person to call, but lucked out that the first person didn't want them all, and so she was looking for somebody that all the homes would go to. And we just worked it out, and we're able to get them here on uniforms. It was probably $100,000 worth of uniforms, and it cost us a little over $3,000 for shipping. So I call that a win. In that, I mean, I'm very excited that they're 12 years old, but our other uniforms were 24 plus years old. So and you should change every 10 years. So I feel like I'm kind of there now, and now we close, but now we can spend time actually focusing on fundraising to earn money for our new uniforms. One of the unique things, I really feel like the music program is a very strong part of the school culture. And I had a person tell me once, music or the band is like the first thing you hear when you enter school, being the first rally and stuff that you go to, and the last thing you hear when you leave high school, being graduation. So a lot of people don't think about how important the music program is to the overall culture of the school, and how it's something that's always there, and it's till it's gone that you don't realize what you're missing. Overall, there's 80 kids involved in the band side. I have 30 kids involved in the about 35 kids in the choir, and then I have about 35 kids in the guitar program. Every quarter I try to have one major production, that even though the marching band performs at the half-times at games and pre-game and stuff like that, but I like to do one formal concert. And so this week is our fall concert on Thursday, and we'll have the jazz band performing at it. We have the choir will be performing, the marching/pep band, which is made up of the beginning band, the intermediate band, the advanced band, and the percussion class. And then the percussion class will perform by themselves, doing some things. So basically, we have trophies from the first year the school has been here and up to current right now. So it's just, that's part of our history. I'm working on trying to get photos of all the past bands from the beginning, and start a history wall so the kids feel like they're part of something. There's a strong history here at North, and I'm really glad to be part of that and trying to bring that in. And it's just it takes time to create any type of culture and change the culture of how things are going. And I'm very happy with how things have been moving, and even in the few years I've been here, in 3 years, things have really changed really quickly, faster than I thought they were going to change, which is a good thing. Eventually, I'd like to get nice concert attire for us, as opposed to doing polo shirts. I'd like to have dresses and tux tops and vests and ties for the guys, and that's where I'm headed. Time and money. Everything is time and money, and I understand that. So we're slowly getting there. We're in the process of my parent boosters organization's in the process of becoming a nonprofit, so it's easier for us to get donations that way. And so the machine is slowly getting going. I wish I could always just snap my fingers and this is the way I want it, but I'm amazed how fast it's going there in such a short amount of time. I think it's important for every student to get involved with something, be it sports, be it clubs, be it band, be it choir, be it drama, be it anything. A student needs to be involved because that makes them part of the school culture. And when you feel that you're part of something, you thrive a lot better in that atmosphere as opposed to being on the outside and always looking in at it. So that's, I think, the most important thing. Now, I'd love to have students go through the music program instead of that, but I feel it's more important that students are involved in something while they're in high school.
A blessing to get the uniforms. And I got here my freshman year, and we had the blue ones, and we just got the new ones like a relief. The other ones are really old and falling apart and off-white, and these are still brand new.
The uniforms, for me, it means that we're taking a step closer to greatness, because we were nothing when we began. Because I remember my freshman year, he was in there. It was like he was retiring, my old music teacher, and then when he came in, we saw like everybody wanted to play music. Oh, we got excited for going to competitions and see them. And then we went to a bunch of trips and seen other musicians, how they do their practices, and then that was really great. For me, especially, I have to be here longer. I have to set up the uniforms, get them named, tagged, everything. Everybody should have a uniform, hat, a plume. She's in charge of the plumes to pass them out. I have to get everybody, do you have your music? Do you have your instrument? Do you have everything you need? Because we're not coming back. And, and then you have to check every single uniforms they have. They should be presentable. Their hair has to be done as well. It's not just the uniforms itself, you have to be presentable for the people who are watching you, because nobody wants to see someone who looks really bad and does really bad. If you look great, you do great.
You have a lot of pride in your school, showing that in what you do, and showing the band play proudly.
We do concerts every quarter. We also do all the parades that are local to Salinas. We show them that although there's other schools there, that we're not the underdog, because that's what we're presumed as, because there's other schools that have been here longer and their music program is. To get them ready and prepared, they have to learn skills, because we can be there behind them every single step. The first couple games that we do, I'm like, you do have everything. And then by the end of the season, marching season, we see that they don't need our help anymore, that they've learned their skills, that they need to be ready for us to succeed. Also, it's not like we're like, how can I say this? Like we're forcing them to do this, but it's a good skill to learn, to be always looking presentable, because job interviews, you have to look presentable as well. It's not just like the music program itself, but it helps you outside as well.
In my point, I feel empowered when I'm in the band. I feel like when I'm at the football games, I'm part of the cool kids. I have like friends around me. You create a bond in the band. Those people got your back, you know?
Like I was saying before, we do parades, local parades, but we do a combined parades with all the other marching bands that there is local schools. We unite, we do one practice all together, and then we should be ready by the weekend. We try to do our best. We have to memorize music. We do Veterans Day Parade that we do by ourselves. Each school does different type of music. We do Parade of Lights and the Como Parade. The Como Parade and the Parade of Lights, it's when we all come together and unite. We're not rivals, we're just friends hanging out. You get to meet a lot of new people and the skills that they have.
I mean, the Como Parade is like you have to like be dedicated to do it. It's every Thursday after school ends. All throughout summer you have practice every Thursday. And you get to bond with everyone there. It's really fun.
We're putting on a production of Night of the Living Dead. And it's a zombie apocalypse film that focuses on just a group of people who are trying to survive. I've been involved, so I'm a junior here, and I've been involved in the theater program for all 3 years. Yeah, and we have 2 amazing directors.
I just barely became involved with the program, but I have had a theater class last year. I'm a sophomore.
Yeah, this is my first lead in a big show like this, from a high school at least.
This is my first lead in a first play, like, ever, so yeah.
So I am one of the theater teachers here at North High. Charlie Trementosi and I work together on all of our shows. The kids last year got really excited about a Halloween-themed show, and so this year we did Night of the Living Dead because we have a huge cast and a lot of chance to utilize zombies. It's allowing us to draw in some special effects makeup, to work with our video production club, who's going to film part of the show to project on stage. And we're opening in a couple weeks. We're in the final stretch. Everyone's very excited.
I started the Film and Digital Arts Club, as well as an Art in the Digital Age Club. Well, that's actually a class here at North High, and we have never had anything like that before, and I come from a background in design, and I really wanted to teach that kind of class, and so I approached the administration, and they supported me, and so this year we have a budding media program here that I'm really excited about. So with the club, I'd say we have about 30 kids who are interested right now. And you know, we've already done a couple of like promo videos for homecoming and filmed the parade we had last week, and we're hoping to edit that into sort of like highlight reel this week. And then we're doing the video production for the play, which is it's going to be really fun. We're going to film some zombie scenes today in in an hour or so. So for the sports poster, I guess Miss Ashen had somebody else who had done it before, but in my background in graphic design, I offered to get started producing that, and then I'd love to have students eventually help me produce that to teach them, you know, transferable skills for when they graduate. So if these kids are interested in graphic design or anything like that, they have pieces for their portfolio, actual real-world experience in dealing with a printer and advertisers and all of that kind of thing. So we put together the first sports poster, and we'll do the rest of them afterwards.
One of the most important things in any high school program is a student's involvement on campus. And the number one predictor of success for any student on campus is being involved. And we are just so proud of the number of kids that we have involved in not only athletics, but in our band program and in our theater program, our ag program, our clubs, ASB. All those programs contribute to the success of our students here at North Salinas High School. So this year at North Salinas High School, we're at one of our largest enrollments ever due to the delay in the opening of Rancho San Juan High School. So we're at over 2,300 students. Once Rancho San Juan opens this fall, every school will drop about 500 students, which will give everybody a little bit more space. But things are quite crowded this year. For me, personally, I was a freshman here in 1972. And so this is where I went to high school. So I graduated in 1976, and this is our 60th birthday, our 60th anniversary. That's why Ruby put that on the poster and all that. And I turned 60 in 2 weeks. And so it's kind of, I've always felt like when I was 13 and started high school, I knew I would be back here. And so this is my 26th year back at North Salinas High School as a staff member. But it's just, there's a certain love that comes from where you go to high school. I mean, I'm sure you have the same thing. And so it's just cool to be back somewhere where you get to see all the growth, and you get to see great kids, and you get to see great staff. So for me, it's just the greatest place on earth. So my first day of high school, 6'2", so I was 2 inches shorter than I am now and about 50 pounds lighter. A teacher walked up to me, grabbed me by the arm, dragged me into the girls' locker room and said, "Look what I found." And to that day, that was the first day of being a really tall, awkward, gangly girl that somebody wanted me to be around. And I knew sports was going to be the way for me. And then I got a basketball scholarship to go to college, played basketball, got to go and see the world and do all sorts of great things. And just because I think I told the lady that year, "I'm going to have your job someday, Miss Maycumber." And she was the athletic director. And then when I came back in 1992, she was about ready to retire. So it worked out just great. The transition from private to public is, the biggest thing is just the number of kids. You're just not used to seeing so many different people in the same kind. And in the private school, people are a lot more similar. Here, it was great because there were African Americans, there was Filipino. I learned what lumpia was. I didn't even know what that was. And Hispanic, and all the different cultures and different kinds of kids. And I think it was a lot better experience, I think.
And we are back from Rabobank Stadium. This is Bruce Deeney with Baj Johnson, and we've got a close game here tonight. Carmel Padres, the visiting Padres, are up 14-6 over the North Salinas Vikings. And just a little quick recap, we had North Salinas with 2 picks. Manuel Camberos picking off Carmel quarterback Kai Lee with beautiful interceptions, and so a couple of turnovers for Carmel and a little fumble down in the end zone have kind of stalled Carmel drives. But scoring has been Luke Melcher for Carmel had a beautiful 45-yard run for 6 points. Dakota Mortingweg showing his power as a running back, powering his way in on about a 6-yard punch in. And then it was Elijah Washington with a 45-yard run for the score for North Salinas, and they missed the extra point. So we are back. We're getting ready to start the second half of play. I'm Bruce Deeney again with Baj Johnson. What do you see so far, Baj? Any adjustments that Carmel or North Salinas need to make at this point?
Well, obviously, I think if you're Carmel, you just want to limit the turnovers and do what you do. Hit a couple big chunk plays in the passing game and keep it on the ground with Morningweg and maybe a little JT Byrne action thrown into the mix at quarterback. And for North Salinas, I think you've just got to be happy to be where the score is at right now. You've slowed down this high-powered attack for Carmel, and it's playoff time. North Salinas, if they want to be in the playoffs, this is a must-win game, and so they're in playoff mode as we speak, and they've really shown up big on defense with the 2 turnovers, and they've got some fortuitous bounces. But if they want to stay in it, they're going to have to figure out how to really stop this Carmel run game.
So do you think that when people are preparing for Carmel, they forget to sometimes do what they do best, and they're worried about keeping Carmel off the field? And I've seen Matt Morales, who's a great running back, carry the ball once so far tonight.
Yeah, well, I think at a certain point you can overthink it, and you want to stop what the other opponent does well. But at the same time, like you said, you've got to hang your hat on something, and you've got to do what you do well, whether that's run the ball, stop the run, pass the ball. And it seems like the emphasis for North Salinas has really been, hey, well, what do we do well? We get the ball to Elijah Washington. That's what we do well. And so they're trying to get him some explosive plays in the run game, and it's really been successful.
Angel Cambreros coming up big with, Manuel Cambreros coming up big with with a couple of picks and Gunther to kick off for Carmel. Little pooch kick, and that is going to be fielded by North Salinas, and that's Camberos on the 25-yard line. He brings it up to about the 40.
And a little bit of extracurriculars at the end of the play. It seems like North Salinas isn't ready to lay down here. They've got some fight left in them.
Sure, and you got to come out and set the tone, and I'm sure that's what the coaches are talking about a little bit in the locker room. It's like, who's going to take advantage of this quarter? You're going to come out, you got to be physical,
this is a
right?
great opportunity in a close game with the season on the line. This is where you're going to show what you're made of.
So Elijah Washington in the backfield with Zazueta. Looking to throw on first down. He's going to take it himself, and he gets about 7 yards.
Yeah, interesting, play design, wanting to get the ball in the air, but it looks like Tristan McAllister for Carmel is playing a little bit of a QB spy, so maybe that was one of the adjustments for Carmel is, hey, Elijah Washington's beating us with his legs, not necessarily with his arm. Let's spy him with one of our athletic linebackers, and that happened to be Tristan McAllister on that play, so we'll see if that trend continues.
So second and about 4 with with Matt Morales in the backfield, but Washington takes that himself.
And the ball is out.
Looked like it came out, but that's going to be blown dead. That's Robert Brown showing his athleticism, but
he's got some wheels.
Back. Yeah, he does.
They're going to get him on the track team.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, he is on the track team. I think he runs track or throws track for Carmel.
Yeah, he probably shot put or discus maybe. But it looks like it is a turnover for Carmel with the way they're celebrating on their sidelines. And it seems like Carmel D has really keyed in on Elijah Washington. And you could see in the first half, Zach DeZee was really trying to strip the ball out. So that's a theme for all Carmel defenders. And, don't just get to the ball, but when you get there, punch it out.
So we talked about setting the tone. Carmel coming out very physical and forcing that turnover.
Yeah, it's all about the halftime adjustments and the attitude you're going to have coming out. And Carmel really wants to put their foot down here, and they have a nice big change of momentum here early in the second half.
So Kylie looking to hand off, and that's to Mornenweg, who doesn't find much running room there.
Yeah, a little short side run there, kind of testing the waters on first down.
2-yard gain on the play, second down and 8.
So we are second at about 8, 14-6 with 10:38 in the third quarter. And that's Melcher in motion, and that's a swing out to Melcher, but can't quite hold on to that.
Well, Kylie's had a great season so far, and he's thrown, 4 touchdown passes, 5 touchdown passes in multiple games. But he's having a hard time getting going here tonight. He had the one big play to Rashawn Ward in the first half, but other than that, not much.
A couple of picks. So third and about 7 for Carmel. Looks like trying the same thing, Melcher in motion, and Kylie going down. And that's going to be picked again. And that is Camberos again.
Oh, the hat trick.
Oh, my goodness. So looking for Rashawn Ward, and Camberos just jumping that route every time.
Yeah, it must have been something they saw in the scouting report, kind of a deep comeback, just beyond the sticks on that short side, and he was not fooled. He jumped the route, and he had the hands to make the catch.
So a couple of turnovers here to start the second half.
Yeah, not too much flow here. Both teams kind of coughing it up. Just somebody's looking to grab a hold of this thing.
So Elijah Washington looking to start something. And that is a give to, look like number 2. That's Matt Morales, number 4, Matt Morales.
Yeah, and Tristan McAllister in on the stop, and it looked like Robert Brown was in there as well.
So Morales in the backfield now for North Salinas. Trying to get something going on this run game other than Elijah Washington. So Washington looking to throw. and not finding me. Looks to scoot that ball, and it looks like that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, and that was young Jay Chi with a little bit of the QB spy there. North Salinas has really shown that Elijah Washington's going to escape the pocket if he doesn't see what he likes. But Carmel has countered that with having a linebacker shadow him everywhere he goes.
Chi doing a great job. And now brings up a third and about 6, 7, 9:45 in the second quarter. Washington looking to throw, and that's picked off. And that's going to go all the way for he's brought down at about the 8-yard line. So Tristan McAllister coming up from that linebacker position and coming up big for Carmel. So we've got turnover.
Absolutely, and the corner was playing off, so there was a window for the slant, but Elijah Washington just didn't see that Tristan McAllister was just sitting right in that zone, and he threw the ball right to him. I don't think that Tristan McAllister is going to be recruited for the 4x100 meter relay team for the track squad, but it was a great football play and putting Carmel in excellent position to put some points on the board here.
McAllister, big linebacker, 32 tackles on the season, also a basketball player. But so now we've got JT Byrne in at quarterback. He's run the ball for Carmel, but he's going to take this one. Trying to get outside. He's got a lot of room. JT Byrne powering into the end zone for a touchdown, Carmel.
Yeah, and number 25, Christian Ruiz, was there for the tackle, but just not enough size to take down JT Byrne as he powered into the end zone for 6 points. And, a lot of turnovers here in the early part of the second half, but Carmel's the one walking away with the points.
Name of the game for the third quarter here, JT Byrne showing that he's not just a swift runner, but powering his way on that 13-yard touchdown run.
Well, Carmel just has a lot of weapons at their disposal. They've got the speed of Rashawn Ward. They've got the elusiveness of Morningweg. Kai Lee is pinpoint with the passes. I think notwithstanding tonight's performance, but that could all change.
Staley perfect on his extra point. So looking around the league tonight, Carmel going up 21-6 with 9:30 in the second quarter. But looking around the county tonight, a couple of scores for you. Salinas at Gilroy. Salinas up 14-0 at halftime. Everett Alvarez over at Palma. Alvarez 0 and Palma 28. I've got a score down in Gonzales. Gonzales up 20-0 over Greenfield. Gonzales just on a roll this year. And King City is up 20-0 over at Pacific Grove. If we get some more scores, I will certainly pass them along. But Carmel looks like the offense woke up a little bit after a turnover in the second, or at the beginning of the second half, and Padres up 21-6. This high-powered Carmel offense showing their colors. So this kick is going to go out of bounds. Isaiah Orozco wisely lets that ball just go out of bounds and doesn't field it. So they're going to take over. North Salinas is going to take over at the 35-yard line and see if they can put something together, Coach.
Yeah, North Salinas has had some success in the first half, and Elijah Washington was obviously a big part of that, and it seems like the adjustment in the second half for Carmel is really key in on him and don't let him go unchecked and make somebody else on that North Salinas team beat you. So they've got to find another player that's going to step up here.
And that resulted in a big turnover for Carmel. So North Salinas taking over. Washington with the snap, looking to throw the ball, and finds a little running room. Picks up about 4 yards.
Yeah, and Tristan McAllister really having one of his better games here. Again, right, he's right in the middle of the action. Elijah Washington tries to scramble, and he's there to clean it up.
So North Salinas picks up about 4 yards. We'll have 2nd and 6 with about 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. See if their strategy changes here, Coach. They've been keeping the ball on the ground quite a bit, trying to eat up that clock. Washington with a give to Zazueta.
Yeah, and Carmel really putting a lot of pressure on the North Salinas defense. They have no safety high, 0 in the window, and they're pressing up the corners, so they're bringing the house. And at a certain point, you would think being down 21-6 that you've got to take a shot deep to one of your receivers on those press corners.
No risk it, no biscuit, right, Coach?
Hey, that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
So we got a little encroachment on Carmel, and that's going to give North Salinas about 3rd and about maybe 2.
Yeah, so the
here.
miscue doesn't result in a first down, but it puts North Salinas in a great position to keep this drive going, and you certainly don't want to give the ball right back to the Carmel offense so quickly.
And as an OC, you're going to take 3rd and short over anytime, right?
Oh, yeah, 3rd and short, the whole playbook is open. 3rd and long, you're a little more limited.
So we got our receivers stacked, and it looks like we have a tackle coming out, might be eligible. And so that's just going to be designed run play. So Washington not finding much, but looking to maybe draw one of the Carmel players out of the box after they're just kind of loading it up. Didn't really work, did it?
Well, they're just looking to get the eyes of the defenders following big number 70 out on the perimeter, and hopefully they'll draw some attention there, and then they can run away from that. But Carmel not fooled, however, enough for the first down.
So North Salinas picking up the first down, and on their own about 46-yard line. We've got Zazueta in the backfield. And that's a keeper for Washington, and met by just about everybody on the Carmel defensive line.
Yeah, and the one number I got from that pile was Angel Cisneros, and he was right in the mix there from his defensive line spot. Again, not fooled with the short side run away from the wide side of the field. You can only go to the well so many times, Coach.
And McAllister and Brown in there on that tackle as well. So second and 10. Washington looking to throw. He's going downfield, and he had Camberos wide open, but we've got a little late laundry coming in here on this play.
Yeah, had not too many flags here tonight, so this is kind of a surprise, but LeVar Edwards, number 20, the free safety for Carmel, in on the pass breakup. So we'll be interested to see if this is a pass interference or maybe a defenseless receiver, perhaps. It's hard to tell.
Well, we do know that it's a conference. We can see that.
I would call it a powwow.
A little powwow. So we're expecting the call here. The flag is going to be waved off.
Let the kids play. Let the kids play.
Think that's what they were saying?
That might have been the powwow. Hey, let's pick this flag up and.
I don't know. Did you see that? I don't.
It was a bang play. There was some contact. Maybe a little bit before the ball arrived, but at the same time, we saw a lot of ticky-tack fouls in the pass interference category in the previous games that we've covered. So it's nice to have a situation where the refs can just let the kids play.
Let the kids, exactly. So that brings up 3rd and long, third and 10, 6:45 in the third quarter. Carmel in kind of a classic one-high look with. And that ball comes out to Camberos.
And DZ
making the tackle.
Yeah, and he's really showing why he's a strong cover corner, all-league player, team leader. He's having a really great game here tonight, and he's really locking down that side of the field.
So that brings up 4th and 6, and North Salinas not to take a chance here, I guess, is going to punt that ball away. And we got Melcher back to field this. Guzman here to back to punt for North Salinas. Had a couple of good punts so far. Really helped North Salinas on the special teams play. So Guzman gets off a good punt. He's got Melcher at about the 15-yard line, who's going to take it. And he's got a little room, trying to find room. Peels back around and is brought down there by
our guy.
Camberos. Yeah, Camberos does a great game.
Yeah, he's having a
Manuel Camberos, number 3 for North Salinas.
Absolutely. He's having the best game he's had in a long time with all the interceptions and a critical special teams tackle right there.
Nice open field tackle.
Yeah, Melcher was kind of reversing field, looking to create some action, Camberos was not fooled, and he had the secure tackle on Melcher, who's not easy to take down.
So Carmel coming out. Padres taking over on their, will start this drive on their 16-yard line.
And we've got JT Byrne in at quarterback, it looks like.
And Mornhinweg in the backfield. And this is trying to give to Rashawn Ward, but that ball's bobbled. It looked like they had a difference of opinion of who's supposed to get that ball. So that ball is going to be recovered by North Salinas. And this is a big break, Coach, for North Salinas.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're down 21-6. You know, your season's on the line. You just punted to a high-powered offense, and you have, again, another fortuitous bounce of, Carmel with just a slight miscue on the communication between the quarterback and the jet sweep receiver. And now if North Salinas can punch this in, I mean, we got a ball game.
Sure, and we've got, looks like we've got Zazueta in the backfield for North Salinas. So Washington with the give to Zazueta, trying to find some room. He's pushing that ball, pushing that pile up to about the 9-yard line. So with about a little less than 5.5 minutes in the second quarter, North Salinas on the move here. They've got second and about 6.
Yeah, I think Carmel's looking to tighten the screws up a little bit here in the red zone. And, North Salinas, they're just looking to not turn it over and find something good.
So looking
with Elijah Washington.
Get that ball in the strong hands. So maybe looking at Camberos here. So he's looking at him. He's got plenty of room. He's got some room to go, and that ball is just looks like it was thrown into the back there of Tristan McAllister.
Yeah, and Elijah Washington really had a lot of room to run there, which he's done previously, but elects to pull up and throw and just slightly off on the location.
Looks like he had a little, maybe a lane there.
I think he had a window for sure to scramble.
3rd and 6 on that incomplete pass.
Yeah, and down here in the red zone, the field gets so condensed, so what you normally like to do in the middle of the field doesn't quite work as well, so you got to have some real specific plays down in this part of the field.
So Washington looking across the middle. That ball gets batted down by Brown, it looked like. And so it brings up 4th and about 6 with the ball on the 9-yard line. So, the field goal at this point doesn't help North Salinas so much. But
the field goal unit is not coming out here. They're going for 6. And I hope Coach over at North Salinas really has a good play design here. I mean, anything with a little misdirection, perhaps a trick play.
Coach Seralde showed his ingenuity coming up with that inside run for Washington, with that result in that long touchdown. But Washington looking to throw, and that ball is just intended, looks like, for Angel Sandoval, but kind of flies over his head. So that's Carmel's going to take over on downs with 4:39 left in the second quarter. It's the Padres of Carmel 21 and North Salinas Vikings 6. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
This program on MCAETtv is brought to you in part by the good folks from Technology and Operations at the Monterey County Office of Education, with leadership, support, and service to prepare all students for success.
So we've got JT Byrne taking it himself from the shotgun position. He that's good enough for a first down at about 11 yards. So
yeah, they had a tight bunch out to the left, and they motioned Mornhinweg out to that tight bunch, and it was a quarterback run designed for JT Byrne.
So Byrne at quarterback, little less than 4.5 minutes in the second quarter. Carmel 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. Well, they've got numbers out here to the left side, and that's a complete pass to Nico Staley.
Burns' pass is complete.
So that looks like that's going to be a pickup of about 8 yards, 7-8 yards.
Yeah, and they haven't had too much success throwing the ball down the field, really, other than the big play to Rashawn Ward. So just looking to keep the short passing game going and get some easy completions and move the ball down the field.
So that's another run with J.T. Byrne trying to find some room on the outside, and does. First down, and picks up about 6 more.
Yeah, the theme with the J.T. Byrne package at quarterback is he's
J.T. Byrne. Right?
He's running with the ball. He's got the rock, and he's gonna carry it, and they're gonna design some short throws for him to spread the defense laterally, and it looks like they're going with a little bit of tempo here.
Sure. And Carmel liking the numbers, though. We got trips to the near side here, and looks like Byrne is just going to hand that ball to Morningweg, who gets a little bit of an edge, picks up about 5 yards.
Yeah, a little short side run, pulling some linemen, get your guys out in space, let them make a block, and Morningweg can read those and find some space, and picks up a good chunk.
Dakota Morningweg taking after his older brother, Brennan Morningweg, who was a fine running back for Stevenson several years ago.
Yeah, I thought he was a better linebacker personally.
An even better person.
True.
So Carmel staying with J.T. Byrne, and the give is to Dakota Morningweg, who takes up the middle. He's got a first down and more running room. He's up to about the North Salinas 48-yard lines.
Yeah, and it really takes more than one guy to take him down. He's going to push the pile down the field and keep the legs moving and get those extra yards after contact.
So showing his power as a runner tonight. So we've got Luke Melcher in the backfield, and Carmel staying with J.T. Byrne. Byrne with the give to Melcher. Melcher spins and gets back to the line of scrimmage maybe a yard before he's brought down by a host of North Salinas players, among them Camberos coming up from his...
Yeah, and number 7, Brian Sandoval, was in on the action as well. And everybody's keying in on J.T. Byrne in the run game, but Melcher's explosive, as he's shown earlier tonight with his big run. So good on North Salinas by not taking their eyes off him.
And we've got Mowry in at wide receiver on the near side. So Carmel with a little personnel issue, but looks like they're going to take a timeout. With 2:47 left in the third quarter, Carmel 21-6. We will take a short break and be right back.
Hi, this is Greg Papa for Next Level Sports, the safe way to teach kids the game of football, open to boys and girls, grades K through 8.
There's nothing better than creating memories through football with your friends.
Next Level provides positive coaches, equal playing time, and a safe and effective football experience for your athlete. With convenient scheduling and a community-driven league, it's a touchdown for the whole family. Next Level Flag Football, the fastest-growing youth sports organization on the West Coast. Sign up today at nextlevelflag.com.
Next Level Flag Football taking a big chunk out of traditional Pop Warner programs, and Next Level Flag Football coming to the Monterey Peninsula. You can sign up for Next Level at every age group, totally age group appropriate, so whether it's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, on the way up to 8th grade. Flag football is played with Next Level. I think it'll be at Carmel High, by the way, and games and practices are on Sundays, so both the practice and the games are on Sundays. And if your child is interested in getting to see what football is like, these are 5-on-5 non-contact games, and the season is in January. You can sign up at nextlevel.com. So for Carmel, 2:47 in the second quarter. Looks like we've got JT Byrne back in at quarterback, and that gives us to Morningweg, who fights for about 5 yards on that.
Yeah, and you got linebacker Christian Antonio, a junior from North Salinas, in on the tackle. But again, they're pulling the guard and the offensive tackle to create numbers on the play side for Morningweg to read those blocks and pick up 5 yards.
So Carmel staying with JT Byrne, Coach.
Yeah, well, why not? I mean, he's a young guy. He's explosive in the run game. At this point, you've got a lead. You know, you don't have to do anything crazy.
Looking downfield, he's got a receiver, and that is almost picked off there by Christian Ruiz.
Yeah, just as I say, they're going to keep it on the ground with JT Byrne. He airs it out. But I think they just want to see what kind of player they have here with some extended snaps.
So Carmel undefeated on the season. What strategy as a coach? You're looking to see what everyone can do at this point, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, a team like Carmel, they got their eyes on the playoffs. You know, they want to see what, you know, their personnel is like and who's going to show up in big games and who they can count on as the season moves along. You're trying to create some depth.
So Carmel, you know, going for it and on fourth down, turns the ball over to North Salinas. So interesting call with, you know, at 21-6. You might think that this game is not in the bag yet for Carmel. I mean, you've got an explosive North Salinas team, but
well, I think it lets you know how Coach Anderson over at Carmel feels about his defense. He must have a lot of confidence in that defense to go for it in that situation, but it is kind of a no man's land where, you know, you're not gaining that much field position if you punt, and you're certainly too long for a field goal. So, you know, your defense has been good all season. Let's hang our hat there.
So it looks like we had a change at quarterback for North Salinas, which results in a bad snap.
Yeah, and Robert Brown, I believe.
Yeah, and
Johnny on the spot.
And Brown picks that up, and boy, that's fortuitous. To your point, a lot of confidence in the defense. Hey, go for it.
Well, I think for as much, you know, pub and as much ink as the Carmel offense gets, I think you could make the case that this is one of the better defenses that they've had in a really long time over at Carmel. And they're creating turnovers, they're going after the ball, they're swarming ball carriers, and they're creating extra possessions for their offense to put points on the board.
So Carmel taking over here, 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. That's a pitch out to Morningweg, who reverses directions. And you've got Kylie. They're trying to make a block on that little reverse of direction by Morningweg. Morningweg carves out about 3-4 yards on that play.
Yeah, it was the most exciting 3-yard play we've seen all night.
Whoops, no, I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah, well, he's an elusive runner. He's trying to change the direction and, you know, try to create a big play. And, you know, 2 or 3 yards, you know, puts you in second and long, gives you you know, the full playbook to work with.
So Kylie back in at quarterback. Carmel still going with a one-back set with Dakota Morningweg. 2nd and about 7. Lee back to pass and comes underneath and has a receiver in Melcher, and Melcher is down to the 5-yard line, leaps there, and is just short of the end zone, but takes it up to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, get Kylie back in the game. Give him a little crossing route, a little mesh concept over the middle of the field, and a nice, easy throw. He can get it to Melcher, who's super explosive, and he put the ball right in the spot where he can run after the catch, and a great play.
Carmel looking to get this off quickly. Kylie taking a himself-designed run. He's not quite back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe loses a yard or two on that.
Yeah, and you had number 79 for North Salinas, Raymond Campos, in on the tackle. He was not fooled. He read the play, diagnosed it, and made the tackle on the Carmel quarterback.
So JT Byrne back in. JT with a pedigree himself. His father, Tom Byrne, played at University of Notre Dame back in the day.
Yeah, I think both quarterbacks have amazing genetics. I mean, when you think about Kai Lee, and his mother is a North Salinas grad alum, and she was the Salinas Valley Female Athlete of the Century.
Century, that's 100 years, right, Coach?
It's not the decade, that's the century. So he's got some really, athletic genetic code to his makeup. And then JT Burns, father being a Division I football player, he has it as well. So Carmel has a lot to work with in their arsenal.
So Carmel backed up here second and long, and that's out to Rashawn Ward, who makes a great move and takes it back to about the original line of scrimmage. But Carmel's going to be faced with a very long third down here, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and a great route by Rashawn Ward. He faked the quick slant, got the defender moving inside, put his foot in the ground, whipped it back outside, and again, Kylie, it was a perfectly placed pass where Rashawn Ward could really get a little extra yards after the catch, and Kylie kind of coming on late here with the passing game.
So Carmel on the move, but was backed up with a couple of a penalty there, and left them with the 4th and about 13, 14 yards. We've got a player down on the field, and we're going to take a quick break, and we should be back right after this announcement.
I'm Marcos Cabrera at McCate. We're developing journalists to bring you the facts and keep you informed.
Here at MCAETtv, we are helping young professionals carve out their career paths.
We are working side by side with students, performing real-world marketing, sales, design, and so much more.
Here at MCAETtv, as students, we are being guided in the production of relevant content delivered especially for you.
We're being trained as journalists to bring you the facts and to keep you informed.
At MCAETtv, we are being assisted as young professionals to carve out our career paths.
Professionals work with us every day, teaching us game design and animation.
MCAETtv is growing and expanding. We need more quality content from local students. For more information about MCAETtv and how your school can be a part of the Mission Trails Digital Media Network, contact Hamish Tyler at 784-4192 or email htyler@montereycoe.org.
We are your future.
Arts, media, and entertainment professionals.
We are MCAETtv.
Nice announcement from our friends at MCAETtv, and that's Manuel Cabreros taken off the field there. Sure hope he's okay. He's had a heck of a game tonight. So Carmel 4th and about 14 yards here. That's Kylie looking to throw. He's being for a little pitch to Melcher. Kind of a desperation pitch, and Melcher forced out at about the 12-yard line, and that looks like it's going to be a turnover on downs to North Salinas, who will start deep in their own territory here as there's about 16 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think, again, it shows what kind of confidence Coach Anderson has in his defense, electing not to go with a field goal and take a chance for 6 points. But Carmel D is back on the field, and hopefully that confidence is rewarded. So looks like Sotelo in at quarterback for North Salinas, number 5, and that's a give to Zoeta. So Zoeta, and he gets looks like he got about 4 or 5 yards on that. Yeah, Zazueta seems like a good athlete. I think they were so ultra focused on getting Elijah Washington his touches in the run game, they've kind of forgotten about him. But I'd like to see Zazueta get a couple more carries here in the fourth quarter.
So that wraps up the third quarter. Tonight we're at Rabobank Stadium. Bruce Deeney with Boz Johnson. It's Carmel Padres 21, North Salinas Vikings 6. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. So we are back at Rabobank Stadium as North Salinas takes over on downs. It's got, and they're now second and about 7 yards. Sotelo back in at quarterback, and that's picked off by a Carmel player over on the side. Can't quite get a number on that side, but might be Deasy.
And the pass was picked off by number 24.
Yeah, that's Deasy on for Carmel, coming up big.
Well, that confidence in the defense was rewarded for Coach Anderson. He said, hey, let's roll the dice on 4th down for a shot at the end zone, put the defense back out on the field, and his big senior corner, Zach DZ,
yeah.
Zach DZ, comes up huge again.
Yeah, so quick turn of events. North Salinas putting Sotelo back in at quarterback, who was their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. Did a great job for them, but I think he's been out for the last 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So North Salinas definitely on their heels, and a powerful Carmel offense coming up to the line of scrimmage. And we've got Kylie back in at quarterback. It looks like that's Rashawn Ward in the backfield.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's a give to Ward, takes it up the middle and spins there, trying to get up to the end zone, and looks like maybe stopped at about the 2.
Yeah, and after the turnover, the momentum really shifts, and Carmel looking to just punch this one in the end zone on the ground.
So we've got Kylie back in at quarterback in this heavy set with Ward in the backfield, and that give is to Ward, who gets back to the line of scrimmage, and not much after that. He's brought down by big number 65. That is Anetti Susi.
Well, North Salinas is really stacking the box here. They're kind of expecting runs, so that's going to give Carmel some opportunities out on the perimeter with some one-on-one matchups. Let's see if there's anything they like.
So we've got Mornheweg back in the backfield. Looks like a little bit of a heavy set with Melcher in there as well. Oh, and that swung out to the linebacker number 2, Tristan McAllister. That was McAllister, not Melcher in the backfield. So a little different look.
Yeah, I like, giving the defensive players a little action on the offensive side of the ball close to the goal line. Get a big guy in space that's hard to tackle.
It shows the diversity of these Carmel High athletes.
But a big 4th down here.
Yeah. 4th and goal. That ball is mishandled by Lee, who's looking for something in the end zone. He's got a receiver, and that is looks like Mornaway that comes down with it. Or no, excuse me.
Oh, JT Byrne.
JT Byrne on the reception.
My goodness. He can throw it, catch it, run it. He's doing it all tonight too.
So
Carmel just has so many weapons.
Yeah, they do. And JT Byrne coming up big with a nice reception. That's Kylie to Melcher.
Well, sometimes the ball bounces.
Kylie to Byrne.
Yeah, and sometimes the ball bounces your way. And it was a little funky snap. Ball was on the ground, but heads-up play by Kylie to corral it and roll out, and he finds JT in the end zone.
6'5" JT Byrne in the end zone. That's a pretty big target.
Huge catch radius.
So Staley is perfect, putting the ball through. So Nico Staley perfect tonight. The Carmel Padres go up 28-6. And we've got 10:09 in the 4th quarter. So as we get into this 4th quarter, the Carmel Padres firmly in control.
Yeah, I think you can make the case that for as many turnovers as they've had and as many miscues that they've had, it really shows the depth of this team and the mental strength to really be this far ahead with that many mistakes along the way.
So you're Coach Anderson right now. What are you saying to your guys?
Hey, we got them right where we want them. Defense. Let's fire it up, create some more turnovers, and get the ball back to the offense.
Clean it up on offense a little bit. You're trying to get ready for the playoffs at this point for Carmel.
Well, I think you never want to look too far ahead. You always want to look at the game at hand, and you never want to take anything for granted because any team can beat you at any given time, but at the same time, you do want to make sure that you're planning for a full schedule. And Carmel's used to going to the playoffs, and so I'm sure they've got eyes on that.
So looks like Maori to kick off for Carmel. So
we're getting some instructions here from
in the spur. Just want to make sure,
coach, about where he wants to kick it.
So and that ball's going deep, and bobbled there a little bit by North Salinas. He just falls on the ball, and wisely so. You don't want that ball to get in Carmel's hands, not down that low. So that's looks like Isaiah Roscoe fielding that ball for North Salinas. Bad break for North Salinas, but at least they got the ball back, and hopefully they can put a drive together.
Yeah, well, they're pinned back in their own end zone, so now Carmel's going to bring the heat, I would imagine, and we're going to see if North Salinas has anything left in the tank here.
So a couple substitutions on the defensive line for Carmel. Robert Brown out of the game, and but those defensive linemen at this point got to have their ears pinned back, right?
You would imagine so. And it looks like Carmel's bringing a linebacker blitz here.
So that's JT Byrne up. Looks like he's coming. Or that was McAllister. But that ball swung out to, looks like Angel Sandoval. So a nice move by Sandoval. Looks like that's pretty close to a North Salinas first down.
Yeah, a little bubble screen.
That's going to come back, I think.
Yeah, a little bubble screen from the inside linebacker blitz.
It looks like that might be a holding call, Coach.
Oh, yeah. More laundry on the field. Thank goodness we haven't seen more of it.
So waiting for the call from the officials, but looks like that might be a hold on North Salinas.
Yeah, well, when Carmel dials up the pressure, those linebackers come hard, and sometimes all you can do is reach a hand out and grab some jersey.
So Robert Brown back in the game for Carmel. First and long for North Salinas. A little bit of running room for North Salinas, and looks like Zazueta gets got about 10 yards on that.
Yeah, and Zach DZ in on the tackle.
DZ all over the field for Carmel tonight, doing a great job. So second and about 5 for North Salinas. That's a give to Zazueta, who's looking for something on the outside, and is met there by Robert Brown out there.
Yeah, it looked like number 32, possibly Amir Brown.
Oh, Amir Brown. So Amir Brown getting in, getting some action. The Amir is
he's a freshman.
Freshman, yeah. So Amir
getting some run here in the fourth quarter.
So third and short here, and that gives Zazueta, who's got a first down, and stumbling up and picks up a few more. It looks like he picked up about almost 10 yards on that. So that's going to be a North Salinas first down at their own 27-yard line. So 8:32 in the fourth quarter. Looks like North Salinas trying to put something together here on the ground.
Yeah, well, the Carmel defense has played really well all night. But, if North Salinas wants to have a chance of putting some more points up, they got to keep this drive alive.
So Sotelo in at quarterback with Zazueta in the backfield and looking to throw. He's got a receiver open, and Sotelo just looks like he overthrows number 10, Brandon Guzman.
Yeah, and there was some pressure by the Carmel defensive line led by Sione Senavota. It seems like they've got some players all across the board.
So Carmel putting the pressure on. So we got 2nd and 10 for North Salinas. 8:06 in the fourth quarter. So Jake Sotelo seeing if he can work a little bit of magic here in the fourth quarter for North Salinas. And that ball is bobbled by Sasueta. So it looks like North Salinas holds on to that, but that's going to bring up a third down and about 13 yards here for North Salinas. So,
yeah, and again, Carmel, a lot of sacks along that D line, and with those linebackers, it'll be interesting to see if they want to bring some pressure and turn up the heat, or if they're just going to kind of drop back in a zone coverage.
So it looks like Adam Ramali in for Carmel. And Sotelo see if he can get something going on third and long here. So looking to throw across the middle, and that ball's just short. So Sotelo hit hard there by Robert Brown. But fortunately bounces up, and looks like North Salinas is forced to punt here on fourth and long. So with 7:27 in the fourth quarter, Carmel back to receive on this, and it looks like we've got both Melcher and Ward back for Carmel. So unless they boot this out of bounds, they're kicking it to two powerful runners for Carmel. But Guzman with a good foot here. So that we got a whistle there. So it looks like that's somebody moved for North Salinas, so they're going to back it up 5 yards and do it again.
Yeah, North Salinas, kind of pinned back in their own end zone, looking to, get out of trouble. They don't want to get a kick blocked. So let's do this again.
So if I can read a little body language, you've got North Salinas trying to get some rest on their sidelines. The Carmel Padres always up on their sidelines, and we got about 35 players on the Carmel sidelines with their helmets on, ready to go. North Salinas looking a little tired here in the fourth quarter, but see if they can make a defensive stand here. Keep Carmel out of the end zone. So that's going to be fielded by Melcher as he backpedals and dancing around looking for something. He's brought down there, held on by Matt Morales, and be right at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and Carmel's got a lot of depth. I mean, they're looking to start, one-way players. If you start on defense, for the most part, you stay on defense. If you play on offense, for the most part, you stay on offense. I mean, they'll, switch around. Tristan McAllister, caught that pass near the goal line, but at the same time, they're keeping guys fresh. And so when you get to the fourth quarter, they're fresh on both sides of the ball, and if you've got a team where you're playing a lot of players both ways, they will start to wear you down.
And that's what Carmel does. They just historically will just keep coming after you.
Yeah, in waves.
So we've got Kylie back in and quarterback, and Morningweg in as the sole back. Kylie looking to throw downfield. He's got a receiver. He's got Ward on the 15-yard line, and Ward just takes it in. So beautiful 50-yard touchdown pass from Kylie to Rashawn Ward.
Yeah, well, way to go, Kylie. I mean, to have the mental strength, you throw a couple picks early in the game, sometimes you get a little gun shy, but for him to really let that one loose, and Rashawn Ward's got the speed to track it down, what a great play at the end of the game to really punctuate, the score and Carmel's imprint on this particular game.
So Carmel, keeping the gas pedal on and not letting up, showing their high-power, high-octane offense. Kylie to Rashawn Ward, just showing what a dangerous receiver Ward is.
Oh, yeah, he's got the speed to take it all the way. You've got to put your best guy out there, at least your fastest guy, just to try to stick with him.
So in this case, the fourth time was on the charm, going from Kylie to Rashawn Ward, and looks like Nico Staley is perfect on the night for his extra points. I think he's perfect on the season too. I think coming into tonight's game, he hadn't missed an extra point all season. So
yeah, well, that just goes to show the consistency, but also the emphasis that Coach Anderson puts on special teams. I mean, it is a third of the game, and they're not sleeping on extra points, 2-point conversions with the swinging gate. They're using the kickoff as an opportunity to create possessions with either onside kicks or pooch punts. So, they really, spend a lot of time on that part of the game, and it really shows in the fact that Staley hasn't missed a kick.
And he's been perfect tonight, and so Carmel, after a 50-yard touchdown pass from Kylie to Rashawn Ward to kick off here with a little less than 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and this ball is kicked deep, fielded by North Salinas on about the 10-yard line and brought out to about the 22. Carmel swarming on the tackle there.
And maybe a little frustration from North Salinas starting to show, down big, at the end of a game. Sometimes the tempers will flare, but hopefully we'll be able to get out of here without further incident.
Benicio Cristofalo made the tackle.
Benicio Cristofalo making that stop for Carmel on the kickoff team. So we've got Elijah Washington back in at quarterback with Zazueta in the backfield. That's a good sign. That's a good sign that Camberos is back on the field for North Salinas. Carmel bringing the heat, and that gives to Morales, who gets through the line of scrimmage and gets about 6 yards on that play.
Matt Morales.
And Benjamin Lund, number 4, on the tackle from his cornerback spot. But both teams playing 2 quarterbacks kind of throughout the game. Usually you see a team will stick with one, but obviously these different quarterbacks present different skill sets that both coaches want to use.
Benjamin Lund, the 4th of the Lund brothers to play at Carmel High.
Oh,
so we've
great
seen
legacy.
that name at Carmel for a long time. Last of the brothers. But with second and about 4, that's Morales on the carry, gets outside and picks up first down and more, brings the ball up to that 48-yard line. So Morales showing what his athleticism. He started the year, as I said, at running back. It was Sotelo at quarterback and Morales at running back. But with that injury to Sotelo a couple of weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, they've had Rashawn Ward, and there's a dangerous player in his own right.
Oh, absolutely.
So
and Adam Ramlawi on the tackle there, pushing the ball carrier out of bounds at the end of that play.
12 for Carmel. So first and 10 at the 48, and that gives to Morales. Washington taking a hard hit on that handoff, but Morales dances around, picks up about 3 yards. So second and 7.
And Tristan McAllister, the linebacker, number 2, in on the tackle. He's actually had a standout game for this Carmel defense, and he had a nice interception earlier in the game to kind of turn the tide here in the second half.
It really did. It turned that tide for Carmel. Went in the halftime at 14-6, and Carmel came out with that battle of turnovers in the third quarter, but Carmel came out on top. So Elijah Washington trying to field that, and he takes off on his own, and he gets up across the 50-yard line. So it's going to be about third and maybe call it 3.
Yeah, number 23, Julian Sanchez, in on the tackle for Carmel.
So Elijah Washington is showing his athleticism, and boy, he moves well in space.
Yeah, he's an electric player, obviously. I mean, you're trying to scheme up ways to get him, in space with the ball in his hands, and as he showed earlier, he can take it to the house, but it seems like Carmel has started to key in on him and take away some of those opportunities.
So that gives to Zazueta, who on third and short can't quite get up to the first down. So this is going to bring up fourth and very short.
Yeah, and again, Tristan McAllister with another huge tackle, and Zazueta tapping his helmet coming out of the game after taking a big hit. So
looks like we've got Washington in at quarterback and Morales in at running back here, and North Salinas opting to go for it on fourth and about 2 with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So this is just going to take off the run. He's got the first down. That's Washington on a nice little run to pick up first down, and North Salinas keeping this drive going.
Absolutely, and I think that's a play that's kind of worked for them relatively well all night. You got the quads to the wide side, and it's a quarterback run to the short side, and they use it again on fourth down to keep the chains moving.
So North Salinas moving the ball. Fourth quarter, 3:40 to go. 1st and 10 on the. And that ball that's a bad snap that Elijah Washington just has to fall on. That, unfortunately, that's going to bring that ball back almost 10 yards, so they're going to go back to about their own 49.
Yeah, and a big 3rd and long here for North Salinas. And 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in this contest.
So that's 2nd and about 20 here for North Salinas. It's a big turn of events. You hate to see that happen, but here they are. So Elijah Washington seeing what he can do here, looking downfield. He's got a receiver in space, and he's just going to be brought down. Looks like that's Camberos.
Yeah, and a nice little hitch pass, easy route, easy throw, and the youngest of the Lund brothers in on the tackle again.
So North Salinas, again, leaving themselves 3rd and plenty of room to go, but 3rd to 12 with the clock ticking down. About 2.5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Carmel up 35-6 here at Rabobank Stadium. I'm Bruce Deeney with Boz Johnson.
Yeah, and it looks like Carmel's taking the opportunity to get some guys into the game who may not get to see as much action. So that's always nice to kind of create that depth, for later in the season, as we said before.
On 3rd and long, Elijah Washington looking to throw. He's got downfield. That ball's almost picked, but he overthrew his receiver. So
yeah, and that was actually tipped by number 20, LeVar Edwards, who's actually had a great season of his own. He has 4 picks on the season from that free safety spot, and you can see why. He's around the ball all the time, getting his hands on that one.
So unfortunately for the Vikings, they're turning the ball over with about 2 minutes to go, and they've got really no choice but to punt here on 4th down. So we've got Melcher and Ward back for Carmel. So Guzman gets this punt off, and it's a good one. Melcher's going to field it on about the 15-yard line, and he's got a reverse direction. But he's got a little bit of room brought down there at the about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and brought down by number 43, Xavier Barragan, a senior.
Xavier Barragan, I had the pleasure of talking to his dad a little bit before the game, and I think they've got some relatives that are going to be watching tonight, so a shout-out to the Barragans. Also a shout-out to a couple teachers. I did a little poll at halftime. I said, who's your favorite teacher? And I asked a couple students from each school, and so I want to give a shout-out to Mr. Frederick at North Salinas. Came up, widely popular among the students that I polled, and I guess he's a AP U.S. history teacher, so a shout-out to Mr. Fendrick, and over at Carmel High, Mrs. Angie, who also teaches, big night for the history teachers, but teaches at Sophomore World History over at Carmel High. So shout-out to Mr. Fendrick and Miss Angie at Carmel High School.
Yeah, well, anytime you're in the profession of education, you're, building, the character of the children of the next generation, so kudos to them.
And looks like Kylie for quarterback with Mornaweg in the backfield, who's motioning over to the now quad side here, near side. It's going to be swung out to that is Nico Staley. So, and to your point too, Coach, this is these guys are out there. They work so hard. Nobody really understands how hard both the coaches and the players work all year long for football, and it's a total year-round commitment. Even though they're playing other sports, these guys are working out during the summer. They're dedicating themselves to playing the game of football. And, in the process, they're learning sportsmanship, character, working through adversity. Carmel had to work through a couple of big turnovers, working through adversity tonight, and North Salinas now trying to play with as much character and courage as they can as this game winds down with about a minute left in the 4th quarter. Kylie in the shotgun, looking to swing that pass out to JT Byrne. Again, Byrne with running room, and he's taking up the sideline, dances along the sideline, and showing his
speed. And there's 56 seconds left in the 4th quarter here at Rabobank Stadium.
And Carmel plays 4 quarters of football. So looking to get off another play here in the 4th quarter with time running down. So,
but I like this. They're looking to get extra guys into the game, get them some experience.
Sure. JT Byrne getting the call. The clock is running. About 40 seconds on the clock. And that's a give to... oh, my gosh. Looks like North Salinas is going to get that ball back, but that looked like that was a give to Benicio Cristofalo, who's had a few carries on the year, but looks like he coughed that ball up at the end of the run. Nice run.
Yeah, it was an explosive display, and I thought he might take it to the house.
Runner,
for
my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, he's got speed and shifty moves.
So, but he coughs that ball up, and it's going to go back to North Salinas with about 27 seconds on the clock, and you think North Salinas is going to head for the locker room, try to send him downfield?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but again, I like what Carmel's doing. They're getting guys in the game that don't normally get a ton of playing time. Get them some experience. Why not?
So this is just a keeper by Washington, who's got a blocker and he's got some room, and he's got a first down and more. And this clock will stop now.
Picks up 13 yards on the run.
So Washington picks up about 13, 14 yards on that run. The clock is running now that they placed the ball. So 15, we're down to about 10 seconds left, and we'll see if North Salinas can get off a play here as the clock winds down. So, and this is just a straight keeper. Washington works his way over the 50-yard line and is brought down by about half the Carmel Padres. And so it's the Carmel Padres tonight at Rabobank Stadium. Carmel 35 over North Salinas 35-6. Coach, we wasn't too clean during that first half, but Carmel found a way to figured it out. And
I think turnovers. I think anytime you're on the road, you're in a tough environment. A team's going to give you a battle. And I thought, North Salinas played as well as they could in the first half and really had the game right where they wanted it. We're controlling the clock, but it was really a tale of two halves. And in the second half, Carmel got all the turnovers, created all the momentum, got a lot of big chunk plays. Rashawn Ward with the big touchdown, and JT Byrne getting out in space. I mean, Carmel's got a lot of weapons that they were able to showcase. And they actually showed a lot of mental toughness here tonight, overcoming all the mistakes.
Yeah, and both teams showing a lot of poise and character and sportsmanship as the game wound down. Didn't get too chippy or anything one way or the other. So it's what we like to see in a football game, high school football game on a Friday night. North Salinas coming away on the short end of this stick, but obviously the Carmel players happy on their side. And I want to give a shout out to MCAETtv, the Media Center for Art for Art, Entertainment, and Technology, run as through the Monterey County Office of Education. Shout out to our team tonight, our professional team, Hamish Tyler, who is the head of MCAETtv. We had Kent Tegmeyer, Tom Mooneyham, Chuck Parker in the box tonight in our mobile production studio. We had Dylan Holmes and Matt Marin also on the staff working tonight. And these are students that brought this game to you on all the cameras. They were Santiago, Brandon, Veronica, Cesar, Miranda, Archer, Dylan, Andrew, Johanna, Skylar, and Matt. So a shout out to our students tonight for bringing you this game. I'm Bruce Deeney with Boz Johnson from Rabobank Stadium. We saw Carmel prevail 35-6 over North Salinas. We will be coming to you live next week, next Friday night on MCAETtv. It's been a great night, good night for Carmel, and a little bit of a regroup for North Salinas. For MCAETtv, I am Bruce Deeney with Boz Johnson, signing out.
The preceding program was made possible in part by the Nancy Eccles and Homer Hayward Family Foundation. the Digital Media Foundation, Yellow Brick Road, and the Arts Council for Monterey County. A big thank you from MCAETtv.